students, this is Veena, Assistant Professor in the Department of English, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today, I am going to address and give hints about the informal letters. I know it seems very easy to write letters, but it is very important to follow proper format. It is the format which will appeal to the readers of your letters. Always try to use proper formatting. You must be aware of the language, of the format, of the text, of the introduction, of the conclusion, how you are going to present in your letter writing. Because letter writing is the most important and effective manner of conveying information to your loved ones, or formally you will be conveying information to the people in the professional bodies, professional entities, or any of so. We majorly have two types of letter writings. One is formal and the other is informal. Many students think that why do we need to follow some format for informal writing? Because they are our friends, they are our relatives. Why do they feel bad, or they will feel anything about our write-ups if there is some mistake? But you have to follow that format to make yourself appealing and presenting and lovable towards your loved ones. That is what your informal letter indicates. And you have to for sure understand, inculcate and make a habit of writing letters in proper formats, whether it is informal letter or a formal letters. Let us today see how we are going to write informal letters. What are the elements? What are the tips which you all have to follow to write a good informal letter? Let us get started. Here, let us first know what is a letter. A letter is a written message sent by one person to the other. That is, when you want to send a message to the other person through a writer is your letter. Simple. But how is that you are going to do is the question. In other words, a letter is a piece of conversation by post. Isn't it? We used to write letters and post them. Now we are doing WhatsApp, email, isn't it? But we used to, what is a letter actually? It is a write-up, it is a message sent to one person to other through a post. So, when we transfer any written message through mail, it can be termed as a letter. We can do it through mail, we can do WhatsApp, we can post anything. But giving an information to one person to the other is writing a letter. Now, according to Oxford Dictionary, what is a letter? A letter is a message that is written down or printed on paper and usually put in an envelope and sent to somebody. It can be written, it can be printed. So, it is kept in an envelope and posted. That is a letter according to the Oxford Dictionary. Now, what are the types of letter? How many types of letters do we have? Now, letter is an important symbol of human civilization. It shows the importance of the communication. Letter represents importance of the communication. It is very important to communicate with each other, to know each other and to build relationship. So, if it is not possible to transfer information one to one, you can write a letter to that person to remove all your misunderstandings and try to develop that relation again. So, it is one of the important symbol of human communication, human civilization. It has been used as a medium of exchanging information from the primitive age. Since ages, it's not now. Since ages, it has been representation of symbolic communication with each other, transferring information from one place to another. Next, letter can be categorized into different types based on formalities maintained, information contained, purpose of use. What are the three things we majorly use? Formalities maintained. What are the important formalities? If you are not knowing, I am providing with the formalities which are necessary through a letter. Or information contained. If you want to provide information of any kind of entity, you can provide through a mail or a letter. Then purpose of use. Why is that you are going to use a letter? What is the purpose? Okay, these are all things can be addressed with a letter. Now see what kind of letter, how many types of letters do we have, how the letters have been classified, formal letters and informal letters. Here informal letters we tend to write to our friends, families, members who are very close to us. Okay, but when it comes to formal letter, we have many types. Again, we have business letters, we have official letters. In business letters again, we will write to address inquiries or placing or cancelling orders, any such thing. When it comes to official letters, we write for complaints, making requests, readdressing the grievances. This is also kinds of letters we tend to write for these purposes. Next, letters to editors. Why do we write letter to the editors? Expressing views on public matters or suggestions. Next, letters to principals. Principal, why do we write? Application for leave or for any kind of permission. Next, job applications. Letters to the employers or for the employees. Letters of complaints. So, officially, we have many types of letters which we will discuss again in one more video. Here, in this video, we are going to talk specially about the informal letters and what kind of statements or the sentences we use and what is the format of a informal letter. Now, a detailed description of the above mentioned letters is given here. Now, formal letter. What kind of formal letter? What is a formal letter? The letter which is written according to formal rules and regulations. That is, here we are going to address the person whom we are talking in a formal, and we are going to use all the regulations what are needed. So, here we are not going to be informal. We cannot use the words which are informal such that it will create any kind of misunderstanding between that particular official and you. It maintains formalities of the office strictly. That is, whatever organization or the institution we are addressing, we have to follow all the formalities and the rules very, very clearly and with very effective manner. Next comes informal or personal letter. Here, these letters we will write to our friends, our neighbors, our relatives, or to our loved friends. Here, we can use the language in a very informal way or address in the very informal way. But there is particular format to address this informal letters. Here it can be exchanging your ideas, your thoughts, your suggestions, your feelings, your emotions. Anything can be done. Any kind of restriction is not being imposed in your informal letter. Next, business letters. We tend to write business letters for the purpose to say, to cater the needs of your business, about the deals, about the projects, or about the permissions or the concerns. So, you can be, but majorly business letters are also structured as a formal letters. They also come under formal letters. We have to write completely for following all the rules and regulations which are strictly followed by any kind of institution or any kind of organization. Here you can write the business letter for complaining, for claims, for transactions, for the export-import qualities or the adjustments. Any kind of things are all included in your business letters. Now, business letters are formal, structured and non-personal. They are formal, they are structured and they are not at all personal. We are writing to the officials to address the needs of your professional needs. Here, commercial letter contains information related to trade, inquiry, circulars, orders, complaints, claims, adjustments, collection related to trade inquiry, circular, order, anything. All these things comes under the business letters. Now, official letters. Here, when letter is written, containing the official information like rules, regulations, facts, figuratives, activities, procedures, etc. So here we are officially denoting the rules, regulation of that particular entity and stating them in a very formal way to solve your problem or your any kind of requirement which is needed with the official letters. Next, social letters. Here it is called letter that is written on any social occasion, that like your Thanksgiving or your birthday invitations or your marriage invitations, all these comes. That is, here we are calling you for the social interaction, to develop the relation, to congratulate, to follow that. This can be informal and also formal. Social letters can be in both the ways. Okay, if you're writing to an official to congratulate him on his success, it should be in a formal way. But if you're writing to your friend to congratulate on some success, that is also social letter, but it can be informal. Next, report letter. What is report letter? Letter that is prepared in the form of a report. That is, you are giving a statistical evidence or analysis of to represent a report of particular situation. Those kind of letters are called as report letters. Now, notice letters. These letters we tend to give notice. That is, if you are not paying your income tax or your electricity, you will be given notice. That is called notice letters. Next, circular letter. Circular letter is a letter which is circulates among many people. Circular, information which has been which has to be given to all the employees. That is a circular letter. Circular. We tend to send it to each and every person in the organization to serve the purpose of that particular element. Now, order letter. What are these order letters? Order letters are your appointment letters. The orders which you gain, which are given specifically to maintain or to give you the order to join or to formulate some rules or to take up some project. This is the order letters. Next, complaint letter. What do we do? Complaint letter is generally written to complaint against any kind of grievances, any kind of problems, any kind of concerns. These can be also formal completely and sometimes informal if you are writing to your parents or your friends on some regards or any kinds of concerns. Next, employment letter. What is this employment letter? This can be an again appointment order or the joining report or any kind of letters which you get from your employer. Next, here these are all kinds of letters which you generally tend to come in the existence and you are going to use in your future purpose. They can be formal, they can be informal. But today in detail we will talk about the informal letters. What are the requirements? What is the format of your informal letter can be addressed through this video. Now let us come into detail with informal letter writing. What is informal letter writing? An informal letter is non-official letter. This letter we are not writing to any kind of officials that we usually write to our friends, family or relatives. So we will write an informal letter to our friends, our family or our relatives. Here we are not writing it to any organization, any institution which is an official meet. So we are not addressing it to any kind of employment needs or any kind of professional bodies. Here these letters are personal letters that are not used for official purpose. There could be many reasons for which we write the letters. Why do we write letters to our friends? It can be many reasons. We will congratulate them. We will ask them to come to our place. We will ask them to suggest you on some things. So it can be many reasons why we write letters informally to our friends, relatives and our family members. Since the letter is informal, the salutation usually is given by dear, because we are writing it to our loved ones. That is the reason we salute as the salutation will be addressed as dear. dear friend, dear parents, whatever it may be. So we will address it as dear. Such as dear, name of a friend, name of uncle or auntie, or dear father or mother. In this way, we salute. We start our letter with the salutation with dear, because they are our loved ones and we are addressing them in a very informal way. Next, unlike formal letters, you don't have to mention the subject line for informal letters. So, you are not going to mention any subject for informal letters. You will not have subject for informal letters because they are your loved ones. They will read your letter once they are received. You don't need to mention a subject. Why do we mention a subject in the official letters? Because if they are not having much time to read the complete body, at least they will understand on what subject you have written it to them and try to address your grievance or any kind of need you are required for that. But if for informal letters, we are not writing any kind of subject. We are not mentioning the subject in informal letters. Now, what are the examples of some informal letters? These could be, now, inviting a friend for a ceremony, to wish them, to say for a birthday, to come for a birthday is also an example of informal letter. Next, calling a friend for a trip or holiday, asking sorry or apology to someone for mistakes you have done, congratulating a friend for his success or achievement, writing just to ask for the well-being of a person, invitation for a marriage, asking help for someone, informing about someone's demise. That means if somebody is dead, you are informing them. Last, in the traditional method, they used to inform it through telegram. At that time, they neither have internet or email or WhatsApp. So they used to do a telegram to people saying about the demise of their people who are very, very close to them. So these are all examples of your informal letters which you tend. These are some of the reasons. There are many other reasons why you write informal letters to your friends or your parents. If you are residing in an hostel, you write letters to your parents informing about your well-being and what are the things you are doing. You are safe. You're telling them, addressing them about your safety. All these things come under the informal letters. Now, format of informal letter. What is the format of the informal letter which you have to follow? Never ever think that as this is informal letter, I don't need to follow any kind of format. Whether it is a formal letter or an informal letter, you have to follow particular format such that it appeals to the reader who is reading your letter and they try to read it with more interest. If it is in a shabby and in a clumsy way, no one gets interested in reading your letter. So either it is formal or informal. Try to stick to its proper format. Now let us see what is the format of the informal letter. The format of an informal letter to a friend should include the following things. These are all the things which must be included in the format of the informal letter. What is that? First one, address of the sender. If you forget to write the address of the sender, how will they know about you or how will it reach to the person? So write the address of the sender. Write your address also. Then date of writing a letter. When you are writing, this is very, very important. Write the date so that they know at what point of time, on what person, purpose, on what note you have writing the letter on that particular date. If you are not mentioning the date, they will be confused when you have written it, when it has to be reached to them, what is the thing they have to do in some time period, isn't it? So try to write compulsorily the date. Next, address of the receiver. To whom you are writing the letter, you must be writing it. If not, it will not reach them. So, your address, from address, the date and to address must be mentioned compulsorily in the informal letter too, as you mentioned in the formal letter. Next, salutation or greeting. Here, how do you greet? Dear Raju, dear Sita, if they are friends, dear mother, dear father, dear uncle, dear aunt. This can be your salutation. Next, body of the letter. Body of the letter again can be divided into 1 or 2 or 3 paragraph. It can be introduction and the purpose of your writing, and then conclusion, what you need from them. So this can be divided into 1, 2 or 3 paragraph as it is informal. You can very clearly explain them of what are the things you are expecting from them and what is the purpose of your writing. Next, conclusion. Conclude it with proper entity. Without conclusion, it looks clumsy and it will look as if it is disrespect of not concluding the things what you have mentioned. So, conclude with 1 or 2 lines such that it looks neat and it will give closure to your statement what you have mentioned in the letter. Either it is formal or informal, you must have proper introduction and you must have proper conclusion to your letter. Next, signature of the sender. That is your signature. Whoever is sending the letter to the other person, it is very, very important. So, try to integrate all these steps in your informal writing. It is very, very important to make your letter writing look appealing and also effective, and be specific in providing your information and try to explain it properly in the way you are having the problem. If it is informal also, don't take it lightly. Try to write from address, date and the to address with proper salutation, introduction, body and the conclusion with the signature of the person who is writing the letter. So these are all the important things which you have to follow, must and should, while you are writing an informal letter. Now, how does your body of the letter look like? So, first, address of the sender. That is your address. What is your address? You will be writing here. Date. Write the date on which you are going to write the letter. Then, dear, name of the person. Who is that person? It is dear aunt, dear uncle, dear Raju, dear Sita, whoever it means. You will be addressing them, saluting them with the dear. Then body of the letter. Now body of the letter, as I already told you, it can be segregated into 3 paragraphs. First paragraph, ask for well-being of the person. Ask for their well-being. Express your well-being and ask for their well-being. I am fine here. I hope the same with you. Everything is going well and good. I don't have any kind of problem. How is that? How are you? What are you doing? So try to ask about them in the first paragraph. Ask about the well-being of the other person when you are writing the informal letter to your friend or any kind of person. Next, the main reason to write the letter. Then paragraph 2 must be compiled with the reason why you are writing the letter. What is the purpose which made you to write this letter to that so and so person? So address the reason in your paragraph 2 with specific and proper information. Next, conclusion and the end of the letter. You have to conclude by the end of the letter about your need or the requirement or your suggestion, whatever you require for that purpose of writing letter, conclude it. Next, yours lovingly. So, end up with yours lovingly, as it is informal letter and they are all your loved ones. You can happily write yours lovingly. Then, name of the sender of the example, name and address of the sender, because it has to be sent. So, write the address of the person whom you are sending the letter. Don't forget that. If you are forgetting the address of the sender whom you are writing the letter, it will not reach them and your purpose will not be fulfilled. So try to include all these elements and your letter structure must be looked like this on the very left element alignment of the paper, so that it looks appealing, interesting, and it also fetches your need of writing that informal letter. Now here see, I have given you an example of the informal letter. I'll explain you in detail. So this is the way your informal letter must be represented, such that it looks very beautiful and also fetches all the needs for which you are writing the letter. Now let us see this. This is birthday party invitation letter. So as it is a birthday party invitation letter, so it is sent by our friend or our family. Let us see. Now here the address. of the person who is writing the letter. Next, date. As I mentioned you have to write the date when you are writing. Next, Dear Preeti. Here I addressed it as Dear Preeti. How are you? How are your family members? How is the weather there? Hope you are doing well. I am also fine here. Here in the first paragraph, I have mentioned, I have asked them for the well-wishings, well-being of that person. So, paragraph 1 expresses or asks about their well-being of that person whom we are writing the letter. Then paragraph 2, I am writing this letter to invite you for my birthday party, which will be celebrated on 30th June. See here, the date is very important. If you don't mention the date of your invitation, writing letter, how will they know that when you have written? The birthday is on 30th. If unfortunately, if she is received that letter on 31st, how will she able to come? So, date mentioning is the most important aspect when you are writing informal or the formal letter. So, here, which will be celebrated on 30th June 2020. The party will be conducted in my Lonwala's farmhouse. It will begin at 6 p.m. in the evening. The complete address of the venue is, you can give the complete address of the venue there. If you have any confusion regarding the address, you can directly call me on my phone number. So, you are writing a letter to your friend to attend to your birthday party and so place. So, how did you segregate the body of the letter? First, we have asked about the well-being of the person. How is she doing? What is happening with her? Next, we are expressing the purpose. What is the purpose? You are asking her to come to your birthday party and so on date or at so place, and ask for any kind of details if there is some confusion. Next, it's been long time since we have seen each other, and I'll be really very happy if you can attend my birthday party. Waiting to meet you soon. So here you are concluding, saying, expressing your feeling towards that invitation, isn't it? You are concluding on a very good note, saying that you are very happy to invite her such that she can come and meet you, and your meeting will be very beautiful. That is your feeling in expressing the conclusion, isn't it? So, in this way, you have to write the from address, the date, the salutation, and divide the body of your letter into 3 paragraphs with the well-wishing addressing, then the purpose, and the conclude the purpose, then end up with take care or any kind of note which you want to specifically mention to them, or you can write with love or yours lovingly, anything, because as they are your loved ones, they will take it, and write the from address on the letter such that they receive the letter on proper date and attend the birthday party. So, this is one of the example which I have explained you clearly to show you how you have to write the informal letter, which will help you in making the reader appealing, and they will come to understand your concern or the invitation of whatever they are asking you to do. Now, writing letters help to practice your craft, isn't it? It will help you in developing your writing skill. Not only developing your writing skill, it will also render your feelings, your emotions, or any kind of feeling you are having towards the other. So, it is very, very good habit to write the letters. And these days we are using emails or WhatsApp. While you are doing that also, try to follow proper format. While you send it to informal person or a formal person, try to follow that format to make yourself identified in that particular text, and the person understand the situation and the context. It helps you to express your feelings. It helps you to get out of the stress what you are facing. So, whether you are writing formal or informal, try to have that command over the format and the language what you are using in that particular letter. Now, due to writing capabilities, a simple letter becomes an outstanding model. So, when you are in now modern times, we are using electronic letters. Isn't it sent in a whisker? The recipient receives it within a fraction of second. It's not like before that it will take 2 or 3 or days. Within a minute, it will be delivered to the other person and he will come to know about the information which you are going to talk. So, write carefully. because with a click of send, you will be sending your letter. If you are not cautious, sometimes in hurry, your hurry will make you stand in the danger zone. So while writing your letters, especially formal letters, be clear with the specification of the statements of whatever you are writing. See that you don't make any mistakes. See that it is not rendered in a wrong format. So be careful while formulating your letter. See that your language is formal and see that you are specifically mentioning all the important things which you are addressing to that particular person. So sending the letters is been very easy these days, but writing it in proper format, appealing it to others is very important. So try to write the letters, try to practice writing letters to your informal people, to your parents, to your family members in the way it has to be addressed. Of course, it's easy, but your way of rendering the sentences, addressing the people will make you stand unique and different from others. So try to adapt the formal way of writing. Try to adapt the format of the writing. Whatever letter you write, whether it is formal or informal, stick to the format and try to address the specific points and try to do it in a good way such that everyone will get impressed of you and your addressal purpose will be achieved. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.